Hey everyone, and yeah, this is Let's Begin again. Um, I wanted to go over damage and modding today. So, I'm on my primary account. Yeah, ooh, Saren Prime. Um, I want to show off some of the different mod combinations and damage types and everything else in this, and I thought this would be a good place to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, actually first, before we pop some enemies up, let's look at what this even is. So I did this yesterday, and I'm re-recording it because I realized that I could do this a lot better. So let's just get rid of all this. This is what a, well, let's see. Okay, there we go. This is what a Warframe looks like when you don't have anything installed. This is a Saren Prime, so she comes with a couple different things, a little bit different than normal Saren with her, and I've kind of changed her up a little bit, but I can at least show you what's going on. So, wait, did I turn this on? Okay, to be certain that mouse cursor is shown, I have turned that on. So this right here, this is an Exilus slot. It's the one next to your Aura slot. That one is locked normally without an Exilus adapter. Well, that doesn't actually matter too much. What we're going to worry about are these 8, which there actually used to be 10. Was it 10 or 12? No, it was 10, yeah. There used to be 10 mod slots, and they cut that down a while back. And this slot here, which is the top left one, which is the Aura slot, and that's what we're going to focus on for this. So first let's take a look at Saren's abilities, and then we'll see how we want to build her. So Saren's abilities. Spores inflicts the target with a viral damage over time. Destroying the spore will spread it to nearby enemies. So it has a initial range, and then the spread range. So considering that this is our primary ability that we'll be tossing out a lot, we want an increased range with her. So we're going to look for range mods when we're going in. Molt, which is you can shed and create a decoy that will draw fire of all enemies within 10 meters of her. So again, range will increase how far away the enemies will be distracted by this decoy. And this also has duration. Both of these has duration, but the duration on spores is very good for keeping those spores on them longer, doing more damage over time, and also giving you more chances to spread things. Molt's duration just means that it will stay up longer. I mean, it will die eventually, but it won't run out of time as quickly. Toxic Lash, when active, melee strikes burst spores, causing them to spread to nearby enemies. So with this on, you can attack an enemy that has spores on it, and it doesn't matter if you actually hit the spore or not, it will burst them no matter what, causing them to spread. This also is a slight damage multiplier, and has its own duration, and it blocks a little bit more damage if you block. It's a nice little thing. You want to keep that up pretty much all the time with her. Spores and Toxic Lash are the two that like need to stay up. Miasma is her, I guess, ult in this game. It's honestly just your Warframe power, Warframe ability, whatever. Saren pollutes the atmosphere with a lethally poisonous mist that corrodes all enemies in range, deals additional damage to enemies under toxin and viral effects. The range is 15 meters, and that means it's a 15-meter radius, not just in a straight line, so everything around you in 15 meters will take this hit, and will then have these things added. And the duration, I believe, for that is the cast time. And as it says down here, abilities unlock and level up as you rank up your Warframe. So these will all start, like, you'll, at rank 0, you will start with a level 1 spores, and these 3 will be locked, and as you rank up, you'll unlock them. By level 10, you'll have all 4 unlocked, and then by level 30, they'll all be rank 3. It's like that. So with her, we're not really looking too much for a power strength. It's useful on this. I'm definitely not going to say it's not, but what we want is duration and range primarily with her. because that means that we can infect more people and keep them infected longer, and keep our toxic lash up longer, which is itself a damage multiplier. So, I'm going to show you... I should take Galatine and config C, so nothing's on it. And you know what, Helios? We don't need to be friends right now. So, what I want is, I'm going to take this. I have a completely unmodded weapon and Warframe here, and I'm going... Oh, that's from yesterday. Clear. We're going to add in... who would be best for this? Let's add in... just some Lancers, yeah? Let's in 10 Elite Lancers, sure. Oh, I didn't hit simulate. Oh no. Oh no, I screwed up. Where are they? Oh no. I misclicked. I did it wrong again. Just 10 Elite Lancers, come on. And simulate. Okay, so I just spawned 10 enemies. And they're all gonna hang there. They'll fire at me. And you can see my health and shields are 300, 375. Weapon is very slow. I'm taking a lot of damage very rapidly. Whoops, didn't mean to fall off. Taking a lot of damage very quickly. Very hard to get away from things. And can you not for like 2 seconds while I talk, please? I shouldn't have moved. We're gonna go grab this. And our powers are not going to be that great, so we're going to look at some numbers. So I'm going to cast that, and it's doing 20 a tick for 3. It bursts, kills all of them. Very nice. I mean, it's a very quick kill on these things. These are all level 20. They're not super strong. Doing 14, because it seems to be a little bit resistant. And then we'll kill you. So that did... how much? Okay, it looks like 46 there. And we will add this, and that did... I couldn't see. Stupid white backgrounds. But it's a 1.3 multiplier, so if it did 46, it'd be 1/3 better. So whatever 30% more damage is. We will take a look at now modding her. So let's increase the... Let's go with a my normal build for her. So I use Energy Siphon. Her... We'll talk about polarities right now, actually, because this will lead into things. Her aura is normally a D. I'm going to use D dash and V and double slash for these, but we won't care about double slash. But D dash and V are the 3 polarity names for Warframe or for mods in general. The dash is typically a support. D is typically defensive, and V is typically offensive. So originally, the polarity in the aura slot was a D with her, and I used a Forma, which is one of these things, to change it, brought her back to level 0, and then ranked her back up to 30. I've done that twice with her, so I added in another, I believe I added in a second D polarity, and change this from a D to a dash, because I use Energy Siphon, which it constantly gives me a constantly is charging my energy, which is what is used for skills. We went over that last time. I use Steel Fiber, and actually, you know, I might switch Steel Fiber out, but it's really good with her, so I'll keep that for now. I use Prime Flow, which Flow is the normal version of this. This is Prime Flow is 275% max energy. So we're going from energy of 300 to 850. Prime Continuity, which I do not have maxed out, but 45% ability duration. So we're adding 45% longer duration, so if something is 10 seconds, it will add 4.5 seconds. Ability efficiency, which means that our abilities cost 1/3 less. They're 30% more efficient, so something costs 100 energy, it now costs 70 energy. You know, the usual. Armored agility, which increases my strength, speed, and increases my armor by 45%. Steel fiber also increases my armor. I use these because she has a naturally fairly high amount of armor. Armor is damage negation. Keep her alive longer. Vitality, which is just plus 440% health, so I go from 375 to 925. Give her a nice big health pool. Stretch is ability range, which, you know, the longer the range, the better. I mean, we're looking at, what was her, let's see. So we're looking at a range of 21.75, which is a lot higher than it was before. Like, all of these are much better than they were. Range, initial damage, everything else. Like, this was, what, 20 damage a second? Now it's 23. Not a huge increase, but definitely an increase, which helps either way. And, yeah, and then I also added in a, this, which is an augment for one of her abilities, which this one augments Molt. After you cast Molt, you regenerate 50 health every second for 10 seconds, increasing her survivability a lot. So if I'm damaged, we'll go spawn in some tougher enemies this time. But if I'm damaged, settings, enemy level, let's do level 50. Yeah. Okay. Wait, are you level 50? Yes. Simulate. Okay, so we have a bunch of level 50 enemies. I'm just gonna run around and take some damage. So they're going to ping off of me because I'm a bit tougher. See, my health is dropping rapidly. Use Molt, and suddenly I am surviving a lot better. I can cast Molt again. I didn't recharge my energy before I came down here, though. Whoops. I missed that. So let's get some energy. And yeah, you can see, oh, Molt infected them. When it explodes, when Molt dies, it infects them a little bit. Kind of not what we wanted, but that's okay. I will cast on you, and that broke, and now everything around is taking a ton of damage. And they will continue to take a ton of damage every time it pops. And then I can just shotgun them down. Oh yeah, I forgot this doesn't have any mods on it. I didn't mod the melee option. Let's just clean them up really quickly. And these guys are more than twice as strong, so their resistances are a little bit higher than our last set. Okay, this is pointless. Just shoot him in the head. And alright. So you can see a little bit of how mods help things out. Like, that regenerative Molt ability is amazing. It increases your survivability so much with Saren. And this is just for one Warframe. You know, we're talking out of the, what, 30-something, 35 Warframes now? Not including the Primes. And I have two more. I have Oberon Prime and Mirage Prime almost built, so I sold those two. Because I don't need their base frames anymore. But we're going to add in some mods to the Galatine Prime. So, Galatine. These are stances. In the what would be the aura slot on a Warframe, these are the stance slots, which stances give weapons a different set of... Oh, you know what? I realized I didn't talk about something that actually super matters. So first, before we do that, something with the mods. You might notice that there are these polarities here. And I didn't talk about this before. But notice how I have a capacity of 60 of 60 right now. If I take... No, that doesn't work. Flow. If we put flow in one of these slots that's marked with a D, since flow has a dash, it's gonna cost 11 instead of 9, which sucks. That sucks. But if we put it in this one with a dash, it matches the polarity, which then cuts the cost in half. Well, for a 9, it's 5. Same thing with a 10. They'll both be a 5. So like Master Thief goes down to 5. Natural Talent goes down to a 5. Stuff like that. Or this goes down to a 7. Matching polarities is the key to filling up your your Warframe's slots with the proper stuff you want. Adding polarities, again, you do through adding Formo, which is basically a prestige for your Warframe. Once it's max level, you can Forma it, add a new polarity, or change the polarity that's already on it, and then have that become, rank it back up, and then that's a new part of your frame. Now, the capacity is 60 of 60, but if I go and add Energy Siphon into my Aura's area, suddenly I have 14, which Energy Siphon is only 7, but since it's matching the polarity, it Aura's add. So if you match a polarity in your Aura slot, it will double the amount it adds to your capacity. It doesn't take away. So now I have 74 of 74 instead of 60 of 60. That's why you want to match up polarities, and that's why I changed this to fit Energy Siphon in properly. Because you can see, I'm sitting at 1 extra capacity of the 74. If I didn't have this like sitting at 14 and it was at 9 or whatever, or 5, I think, then that would suck, and I would not be able to fit all of the mods in my Warframe. So, now that we've talked about what polarities do, let's go over to here. Because this Temple Royale adds 10 because I matched the polarity. So I have a capacity of 70 instead of 60. Added in Spoiled Strike for damage, and this is a specific build for crit chance weapons. So Spoiled Strike I did for damage, but this is a corrupted mod, so it's very, very powerful, but has drawbacks. So this one is a minus 20% attack speed, even though it's 100% more damage. Which we will talk. Oh, we need to talk about damage and stuff, huh? Yeah, I did that last time, didn't I? Oh boy. But this, I have Prime Fury on here to offset this, so I'm still gaining 30% in terms of my attack speed, which is why it brings it up to a 0.13 instead of a 0.15. But that doesn't really matter. The base attack speed is nice to have, and it's nice to increase, but honestly, I could get rid of this and go with something else because I have a specific build on this. Organ Shatter for more critical damage, which is why it's now 1.5%, or no, that's channeling damage. Critical multiplier is 3.8%. So 3.8%, or 3.8 times our normal damage. So it'd be, 500, let's say 500 times 3, so 1,500 damage, whatever. Times 4, 2,000 damage, something close to there. True Steel, which is 60% critical chance, which is kind of what you need on this kind of weapon, because I'm running a Pressure Point, which is just straight up 120% increased damage, which we'll go over what that means in a second. But I'm running a Blood Rush body count build. Berserk is here because it adds 30% max attack speed up to 75% for 24 seconds on a critical hit. Every time you get a critical hit, that timer resets. So once you're at max of 75% more, which will, since this thing's base attack speed is 1, it will add 0.75 to your attack speed. This thing will be up to 2.05 attack speed, which means 2 and 1/20th of an attack per second. Really nice, and that stays for 24 seconds, and every time you get a crit, it resets that 24 seconds. Very nice. But the true piece de resistance on this particular thing is Blood Rush. Plus 165% critical chance stacks with Combo Multiplier, which is amazing. What's a Combo Multiplier? It's when you kill somebody with your melee weapon. Body count. Increase combo duration by 12 seconds. So this is the thing that makes this entire build work. And this, you don't have to do this for this specific weapon. There are straight power and crit builds that work amazingly for it. I could probably drop Spoiled Strike, and if I drop Spoiled Strike and go with Buzzkill, let's see, that's actually a fairly large increase in damage. So let's actually run that Buzzkill. And that also increased our attack speed by a good amount. So, but the combo duration means that the the combo multiplier, which is just when you kill things, will last longer. So you can go an extra 12 seconds in between each kill and keep your combo going, which means that this stays stacked the entire time. It's gross. Like this thing does work. So let's respawn those guys. I'm gonna cast that. I'm going to pull out my sword only. And since I have a fairly increased duration, I have 34 seconds to go to work on these guys. And see, there we go. Now suddenly I'm attacking a lot faster. And you might notice that there are different colors of damage here. There are 3 damage thresholds essentially. So let's see if I can pop one. Let's get something that's a little bit tankier, but not quite as. What are we gonna do? That is a horrific looking thing. Serrators are a giant pain. Let's just go with the Seekers. They aren't too scary. We'll add 20 of them in, and we'll bring their level up to, yeah. Oh, you know what? Pause AI. Sure. Wait. Invincibility. Does that mean that they will... Because I just want numbers. I don't care about anything else. Oh, crap. Okay, yeah, sure. Simulate. So, their AI is paused, and hopefully if they're invincible, it just means I will still get damage numbers off them. It does. Okay, so, that was a crit. Those are both crits. I don't have a combo counter. That's good. Oh. Did that turn my invincibility on? So you'll notice that it's yellow and then sometimes orange. You'll notice that there's sometimes an orange number thrown in there. There are 3 levels of critical thresholds in this. White is normal damage. Yellow is a regular critical. Orange is I believe a double critical. They changed this recently, and I'm not 100% familiar. But say I got this up to, well, let's actually go grab a critical weapon and take a look at that. Where's the Soma Prime? So the Soma Prime is a critical-based weapon. No, that thing's critical chance is only 75. Let's critical. I swear I had a weapon that was over 100% critical. Maybe it was the Dread or the Paris. I can't remember. Aractus Theranos. No, maybe. Paris Prime, maybe. Dread. Was it Dread? Yes. Okay. So the Dread has this one is built for a 125% critical chance. So I have a 100% chance every time I shoot this thing that it will hit for a critical. Every single time, no matter what, as long as it hits, it will hit for a critical. Then on top of that, there's another 25% chance that it will hit for a orange critical. And the way that this thing is built, I don't think you can, because I built this originally for red crits back in the day when they were the thing that you could do. But now they've added orange crits, which red crits now, I believe, are 200% critical chance, which is typically what you get with a melee weapon, because of body rush or body count and blood rush, not body rush and blood count. Because this adds such a huge stack to your critical chance, you're looking at a much larger, a much higher chance of critting, getting that 200%. So they added in orange crits and bumped red crits up to the plus 200% chance. Honestly, it's not that big a deal, but it's always something that if you can build for it, build for it. Let's talk about damage types, because Saren does some different things. And so do her weapon. Well, so do the weapons I use on her. So let's go back to the Tigris Prime. I Actually, this is amazing for that. And status. Where's the status weapon? Endura is a status weapon, yes? Yes. Okay. So, there's a bunch of different damage types in this game. There's... Oh, I pulled up a list last time I recorded this, and I'm going to have to do it again. Warframe damage types. Okay, so damage. There's a table for all of these damage types. We talked about IPS earlier, so impact, puncture, and slash. Those are the three base damage types. You'll always have them on pretty much every weapon with a few exceptions, but like, oh god, let's go to the base damage on this thing because it's ridiculous. The impact, base impact on this thing is 156%. Base puncture is 156 damage, 156 damage, 1248 damage. So this is a primarily slash weapon, which means it is a primarily, well, what it's optimized for is killing corrupted flesh, which is the infested. But honestly, this amount of damage will kill everything, so it doesn't really matter. But if we're looking at a build for this thing, I went with a heat corrosive build. What was this one? Okay, that doesn't have anything. I went with a heat and corrosive build because the status on this thing is a monster, because that is 98.2% per pellet, which means that you are guaranteed. I mean, if you don't hit at least one status proc when pulling the trigger on this thing, something is very broken with the game. But I went with heat and corrosive because corrosive is very good against ferrite armor, which is one of the 2 armor types in the game. And heat is really good against flesh. So, and it also causes a panic and damage over time. So, different elemental types. There's, as your base elemental damage, there's cold, so let's look at the cold ones. Chilling Grasp, 90% cold damage. So when it says 90% cold damage, it takes 90% of your base damage, which for this thing would be 22,000. You take 90% of these 3 numbers combined. And that will be the amount of cold damage it does. And then you have cold has a slowdown on enemies, as well as being extremely, and it's also 25% more effective against alloy armor, which is the higher end Grineer armor. So there's the low end, which is ferrite, and then alloy, which is the higher end. You'll see that a mix of those two in Grineer combat. There's electricity, which electricity is, I'm not going to go through and like show a mod, but here's an electricity mod. Electricity is 50% resisted by alloy armor, but it does 50% more damage to machinery, which is the corpus stuff. It also has a chain, like a chain lightning type thing, where if you hit an enemy and it procs, then it will then spark to all the enemies around it. And it also stuns them, so like it'll hit them and they'll kind of like shake in place and they won't be able to move. Heat is 25% more. We already talked about that. It's 25% more effective against corrupted flesh and adds a fire damage over time effect, as well as a panic where they kind of like flail around and try to pat themselves out when they're on fire. Good for like very, very limited crowd control and stuff. Toxin, which is the last of the base elements. It is 25% more effective against ferrite armor, but 25% weaker against machines. It also does just a generic damage over time, like just their health. Their health ticks down, which is very nice because their health will tick down underneath like shields or something like that. If they have red health, that health will tick down and ignore the shields. Also, I should mention, IPS, the Impact, Puncture, Slash, have their own procs to them. So Slash is a damage over time, it's a bleed. Impact when it procs is a stagger, and Puncture when it procs means that they do less damage for a short amount of time. Now, Warframe has a comboing system for its elements. Just the elemental, not the IPS damage. So the first combo is Blast, which is heat and cold. Blast does an area knockdown. It's really good for crowd control. It is 75% more effective against machinery, and ferrite armor resists it by 25%. Corrosive, which is a mixture of electricity and toxin, which is what I use. I have toxin here and electricity here, which will explain how to do the combos in a second, is 75% more effective against ferrite armor, and it also decreases anyone who gets procced armor. So if I shoot somebody with a and they have, 10,000 armor, and I don't remember the exact number it brings the armor down by. Sorry, got to shift a little bit. Leg started falling asleep. Looks like permanently. Okay, I just looked it up. Permanently degrades the target's current armor by 25%. So if they have I'll lower that number. If they have 100 armor, then suddenly they have 75 armor permanently until they're dead. Very good. Very, very, very good. I like it. We're looking at gas next, which gas is a combination of fire and toxin. Gas is it causes a AoE of toxin damage, which is really nice when you have small enclosed spaces on a map, and you just fire once into that room, somebody gets hit, and then you just watch everyone die because the gas kills them all. Okay, let's see. What does gas do, though? Gas is weaker by 50% against corrupted flesh. So any corrupted, infested enemies, it will be half as effective against. And it doesn't have any strengths, but it's still very good. But it has also no other weaknesses, so it's not like you're going to you're not going to fire it into a Grineer area and then have it not do any damage. Magnetic, which is the other one that has no strengths but a weakness, but still very useful. Magnetic damage is cold plus electricity, and that is resisted by 50% by alloy armor, but it permanently decreases an enemy's shields by 25% every time it procs. I believe it's every time it procs, or it's just once. I cannot remember. I'm going to look it up really quickly because I don't want to say the wrong thing there. Oh, it reduces the target's current shields and maximum shield capacity by 75% over 4 seconds. That is very different. The damage of the disrupted shot is applied before the magnetic proc reduces the shields. After the effect expires, current maximum shields will be restored, while damage done during the proc translates directly onto the current shields. So once the proc ends, I'm trying to figure out how long. Oh yeah, 4 seconds. I already said that. So after 4 seconds, their shields will come back, but usually you could tear them apart by the end of that. Not super hard. Radiation is the next one. It is 75% more effective against alloy armor, which is the higher end Grineer armor. It is a combination of heat and electricity. It reduces the enemy's accuracy, but the fun part is it also causes them to friendly fire. So anybody who gets hit with a radiation proc will then start turning on its allies. Very, very useful in a lot of situations. And the last combo is Viral, which is cold and toxin. It is 75% more effective against corrupted flesh and 25% less effective against machinery, and decreases the target's maximum health, which, let me look what this is. It is a, decreases the target's maximum health by 50% for 6 seconds, and seems to do a, it does do, it does stack, but the target's health comes back after the second proc ends. So there's a whole table on this on the wiki. It's a lot. I'm not going to read all that. But basically, Viral is very good for hammering down tougher enemies in late game, and just so you don't have to worry about killing them. Those are the damage types, though. Those are your basic damage. Well, not basic. Those are all of your damage types. Your impact, puncture, slash, cold, electricity, heat, blast, corrosive, gas, magnetic, radiation, and viral. And I missed saying toxin. I missed that. But yeah, so you're looking at a bunch of different things, and they're all effective against different enemy types, and it's good to go and look at this on the wiki, or ask around to see, like, well, would this weapon be a better combination against this enemy type, or this specific mission? Does it need this? But really, I've run this one build on everything, and this thing still kills most things in one hit. So I'm not super concerned with doing the optimal amount of damage and having your correct, all of your correct stuff. So let's toss on, we'll clear these guys, we'll toss on somebody tough. So let's say a Corrupted Bombard Eximus. We'll add in 10 of those. Yeah. Simulate. So we've added in 10 of these at level 50. They have a good chunk of health. And they have their own sets of powers, so... Eximus enemies. But look. Yeah, it works. This is one of the best guns in the game. It's very, very overpowered, which I don't mind. I enjoy having it. It makes things fun to do. But yeah, you're looking at, like, if you're going in against, like, level... Let's crank those guys up. Let's crank those guys up to level 110, and we'll see what it does against, like, a level 110 enemy. Just to look. Simulate. I bet you it won't kill him in one hit, but let's see. Yeah, barely scratches him, but also that's the kind of stuff you're gonna run into. Still not bad considering that's only a few rounds. So that's 2, and I'm not getting crits off because I'm not actually hitting the head. So that's 6, 8, 10, and the constant fire damage is working out super well. So is the corrosive, which is reducing the armor because that's what they use. But you see what I mean? This, like, building things correctly, building your weapons to do specific types of damage and stuff really will help out with dealing with enemies and dealing with different types of enemies at higher levels. So I'm gonna go bring this. This is the other, like, special version of that same shotgun. It's a crit weapon, and I don't know why they all just fell. What do I have on this thing? I was messing with damage types when I was recording this yesterday, so I don't actually know now. What do you do? You do blast and corrosive. Why is that? Well, I guess I wanted the corrosive and I just added the blast in because I wanted blaze, huh? So yeah, that I have blast and corrosive on there. Sure, that works, I guess. Not super worried about that. But yeah. Different weapons, different things. You even have... we talked about radiation, which Loki... where's my good boy? My good shark son. Loki has a ability, which is it's a radiating disarm. It's an augment for radial disarm, which one of his abilities, everybody in an area, you just take their weapon away. Radial disarm augment. Enemies will be affected by radiation for 9 seconds. So this is just a... Oh my god, please. This is just a straight up, I'm nearby, enemies are an issue, I've now taken their weapons away, and they're going to stab each other for me. I don't even have to worry. And that's starting to wear off, so cast it again, there you go. Oh, it turned their AI back on. Interesting. I didn't think it would do that. But yeah, they're gonna fight amongst themselves. I'm gonna turn invisible because that's what Loki's mainly there for. Whoa, when did you... Oh, you never died, so you just spawned... You were just already there. But yeah, you can see the radiation proc on them, so they're gonna fight each other. These are the things that different elements do. Each one has its own use in different situations and stuff. So always test things out, look things up on the wiki, like look around. This gun just has like a base gas damage. Just always it does gas damage. This is a high status stabby rapier. But yeah, those are damage types. And let's go back to oh jeez. This is not even close to the correct. Where's Octavia? Thank you, Octavia. Come here, my daughter. You are not at all set up right. Let's change that, huh? Oh, I'm so sorry I messed with you. Yeah, sure. You know what? You get the Fragor Prime. Yeah. I'll mess with that later. But let's go back to the ship, and I can show you about increasing the effectiveness of mods themselves. Since we've gone over what mods do and how kind of the basics of how to use them and what damages are, let's go look at the effectiveness of mods. So, this is the mod station. We unlocked this on the first video set, but let's take a look at it later on. So these are all the mods I have. I have a chunk of mods. I don't have a ton. Well, I don't have all of them. I have 2100 mods, but like if I got rid of these, that would be 92 of them. You see the little pips at the bottom of the mod. Those light up as you rank them up. So like this Vital Sense is unranked, this Vital Sense is max rank. And you can see this is 20% critical damage versus a max rank of 120%. Let's look at, first let's look at Endo, which is what you use to level up your mods. So I have 92 of these extra vitalities, I don't need them. I have 8 extra warm coats, I don't need them. I really wish select all would just actually select all. I have 29 trick mags, so sure, 59 thumpers, good game. Bunch of Thief's Wits, let's just get rid of that. I don't need any of that stuff. 14 swift deaths, sure. 22 suppresses, yeah, whatever. Let's get rid of all that. So we have a bunch, and we can dissolve all the 216 selected mods into 1080 Endo, which Endo is a new current, well, not new, but it's a newer currency that they didn't have before. It used to be before you would just jam a bunch of mod duplicates together to rank mods up. Now you have the extra currency that's used. So I don't have air recon at max. I don't think I actually want that, but sure, let's max it out for this one particular video. This is at 0 of 5 pips. We're going to bring it into the fusion and go from unranked to rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see the drain on it went up from 2 to 7, but the amount of zoom during aim glide is minus 60% now, which is fairly good because it zooms in fairly far on Aim Glide, kind of a pain in the ass. To rank it all the way up to max 5, it will cost 620 endo, which we just made 1,080, and it'll cost 29,946 credits. Credits are whatever, you will be getting credits like all crazy, so screw it, let's apply the fusion. Yep. And now we have a max level air recon. Sure. And you do that with all of your mods. There are cores that you can get that legendary cores, which you can slap those into a mod and it'll automatically rank it up no matter how many ranks it needs. But you should always be careful because you can very easily outrank things that you are putting into your warframes or something. So it's always good to it's always good to check those kinds of things beforehand so you can see what capacity your warframe is at. But yeah, that's the basics of mods and damage. Next time we're going to talk about Forma and go a little bit more in depth on polarities. And do I have these things built yet? No, 5 more hours. Okay, 6 more hours. I will not be awake at that point, hopefully. So I will do that tomorrow. We'll talk about more things in this whole Foundry situation next time too, because oh boy, there's a lot here. Oh, that's done in 10 minutes. Cool. Anyway, I'm gonna go start editing all this because I have a bunch of stuff, and I will see you later. Have a nice night, everybody.